meeting. All right. We are a Christian institution, and with everything that we do, we always start with a little worship. So at this time, I'm going to ask Mrs. Walcott Johnson to come on and pray for us and share a Bible verse as we get into our meeting. We are a Christian institution, and with everything that Miss Finley is still hearing me? If you're hearing me, Miss Finley, give me the thumbs up. Okay, good. Mrs. Johnson.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, colleagues. Good afternoon, parents. Can you hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Okay, thank you. Psalm 32 verse 7 says, "You are a hiding place for me. You preserve me from trouble. You surround me with shouts of deliverance." Let us pray. Heavenly Father, I thank you for today. I thank you for your love and your care and just being here for us. I pray for your protection as we begin this day, this meeting. We thank you, Lord, for being our hiding place. And under your wings, we can always find refuge. Continue to protect us from trouble wherever we go, and continue to keep us from all evil. No matter where we are, Almighty God, we look to you as our protector and one who will fight our battles for us each day. Your love and faithfulness, along with your goodness and mercy, surrounds us daily. And so, God, we want to say thanks. As we go to this meeting, may your wisdom, may your understanding take full control. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Mrs. Walcott Johnson. Special welcome to all my parents, my teachers, 1 or 2 students who are listening. Thank you all for responding. 68 persons are in, and that is about a third, little bit above the third of our population, but I also know that the word will spread. Now, parents, I call us all to a very important meeting this afternoon. And it won't be a very long meeting, but as the principal of the institution, I believe I have a responsibility to ensure that all my stakeholders, my parents, my students, my teachers, my admin staff, my ANSEL staff, the immediate community, the extended community, that we are all in one accord. Now, we are going to ensure that start slideshow are coming parents. Where is the start slideshow? Can somebody show me it from beginning? Good. Now, this afternoon, My little daughter was the one who set up this slideshow. So just bear with me. Bear with me. Give me a second. Give me a I am back. Sorry, parents. Sorry. Share. Miss Finley, you're the only person with your camera. And are you seeing my screen? Are you seeing safety and security? Beautiful. I'm ready for everybody. Yes, parents. Now, it is important for me to address my parents this afternoon that we do have a safe and secure school. Now, in the last 24 hours, and while investigations are ongoing, and I won't be speaking directly to that incident, in the last 24 hours, I know a number of my parents, if not all my parents, all 1,041 parents, having a particular concern about safety and security at Excelsior Primary and Infant. And it is my responsibility this afternoon just to have a discussion with my parents to allay whatever fears they may have, and also to take whatever suggestions my parents would like to give. So for the next 15 minutes to 20 minutes, I'll be making a small presentation, after which I will be allowing my parents to ask me any question that they may ask as it relates to safety and security, and also to give suggestion. So that is what this meeting is all about. Yesterday or last night, a message was posted in a WhatsApp group and it circulated, and it was not meant to create any form of jittery, even though it has done that. And as I have said, we are doing our form of investigation, and that's about what I can say on that matter at this time. Within the last 10 hours, I have ensured that one, I met with my staff briefly this morning. Two, your students, your child, especially in upper school, they will tell you that the principal had a meeting with all my little boys and all my little girls, grades 4 and 5, and I'll be meeting with grades 1, 2, and 3 as we go along. I met with my grade 6, and I will be also meeting with my infant. After which, I engaged my board chairman in a meeting, in a discussion to update my chairman. And I also met with, I spoke with my education officer to ensure that, you know, all the necessary reports are made. Now, parents, I want you to understand that safety and security, it's everybody's business. It's not just the teacher's business. It's not just the principal's business. It's not just the parents' business. It's not just the children's business. It is all of us business. And we have to ensure that we make our space a safe space, a secure space. So when you send your children out, when you send your ward out, when you send your nieces and your cousins, you can rest assured that they are safe. At the start of the term, when we realize that we will be going back face to face, one of the first things we did as a school was to check the resources that we have. And we immediately employed an additional 2 securities based on the budget that we have. In addition to that, the Ministry of Education, they would have given us the opportunity to employ an additional person for 4 months, a safety and security person who ensures that he monitors the school environment on a day-to-day basis. With that said, we will never be able to have a system that is perfect, because as I would have said to my parents before, even in heaven, there was a breach of security because the devil was there, don't it? If you agree with me, parents, let me see some thumbs up sign, hands for that. Even in heaven, there was a breach of security, I would say, because the devil was up there. Even in prison, maximum prison, we see a breach. So there will always be loophole, but we try. Okay, so I want my parents to first understand that we beefed up security. And if we are able to collect the parent contribution, then we will be able to put another 2 securities in place. In addition to this, the principal, they call me Bumblebee. Is it Bumblebee? Yes, grade 1 will tell you that I am in, out, up, down, all around. Because one of the things at our school, there are few males. So I have to ensure that my ladies on staff, my little girls, they are all safe. So I'm always present, or at least I try to make myself always present. So that's the first thing I want my parents to understand and to appreciate and to, you know, to give thanks that we, with the limited resources, we beef up our security. Now, in terms of security, the ministry gives us what is called night watchmen. And these persons, they come in the evening hours and they secure our grounds until the next morning. So we have what is called night security and we put in day security. Now, so our students, for the greater part of the day, they are monitored. The teachers are ever present. And I can tell you, parents, that my teachers don't take day off. If they are sick, they even come to school. So our students are monitored right throughout the day. You would have noticed that for those persons who reach the school at about 6:15, they will see persons on the campus, right? Our Mr. Brown is there, Mr. Salke is there, the security comes in, and of course, I am also there. I leave my home 5:30 every morning. My little daughter, she has to get up by 4:45 to hit the road so I can drop her off at school so I can make it to school. So that's the first thing I want to say to my parents, that our school, for the greater part of the day, we are secured and we try our best. In addition to that, we have, our school is also monitored because there are areas that is monitored by Technology Plus, right? So if anything should happen, we can call on them. And we fund all this through the contribution that you parents would have given to us. Now, in terms of the spaces on the school, we have no area on the school that I would call a dangerous area in terms of if the students should venture there, they would not be safe. We ensure that all the spaces they're cleaned out and the students are centered in a particular space. Now, most of my parents, they would have entered the school from Courtney Avenue. So we have a number of our parents, a significant number of our parents who drive. You know, probably if I have a toll road, I can make some additional funds for the school. That was meant to be a joke. I hope somebody laughed. Not seeing anybody. No, so majority of our parents, they do drive. However, we have other students who have to commute using public transportation, who they have to use another entrance. And we have to also secure them. Now, these students, they would enter the school through the community college. The community college is also secured. So there are no areas on the community college, to my knowledge, that is not secured. And I'm going to show you the other entrance to our school. Now, this is the gate that goes over to the community college for all my other parents who are not fully aware. Now, right at this gate, this big gate that you are looking on, straight ahead, you would see a drainage area right there. And then there's another gate. At this gate that you are all staring at, there is a security station there for the entire day. So now I can say that we have 3 securities on our main plant. Miss Holmes, who are here, and my other 2 hardworking males who they are all over the place. And once there's a break, they get up and they move around. Now, just to give you a better view, now this here is a drain. And when I did my research, and if you look in further down, and I took this photograph early this morning, so that is the other gate, and there is a security there. When I left this afternoon, because that's where I parked today, when I left minutes after 4, just about 4 o'clock, there was a security there. Now, I don't know of any other area on the ground. So all our students are here. Now, this area, even though it is open, it's a drain. This has been built for years. There has never been an accident, to the best of my knowledge, when I've done my check. So once the student comes through the gate that I would have shown you earlier, they pass a security, they go here, pass another security, and they go through the main college gate, and they're out on the road and they go home. Now, at the end of the day, parents, the first gate, let me see if I can go back. How do I go back? How do I go back? Let me share my screen again. Just give me a minute. From beginning. This gate is now opened at 2:30, about 2:20 at the end of school, and it remains open. The security is there, but students will now traverse, not only our student, but also students from the high school and the community college, because we are one big family. Now, once this gate is open, the security is there, and persons will traverse back and forth, because persons will leave. There are children who go over to the community college, their parents are there, they may come back. Students from the high school, they will come and they will collect their little ones, and then they will go home. So all our entry points to the school, it is secured by a security officer. And I want my parents to understand that. In addition to that, during the course of the day, these securities, they will walk. During the course of the day, my vice principal, Mrs. Pinnock, walk. During the course of the day, Mr. Holness walk. And we ensure that we monitor our environment. So as parents, I want you to understand that the school that you are sending your child is safe. Now, at pickup time, before COVID, parents, before COVID, once primary section ends, the teachers will ensure that the students say their prayers, and then they will dismiss the students. The students will go to the front of the school where they wait for pickup. Over the years, I know, even if I wasn't there, I know my parents, my students are told by you, the parents, by the teachers, that you only go with persons who are designated to pick you up. So that is something that I want us to sing in our children's ears. Now, as a school, at the primary section, it is basically hard for the teachers to say, okay, this is the person, that is the person. No, it is hard, very hard. And we also have to remember that our teachers, they also have their children to go and pick up. They have to touch the road. They have to beat it home so that they can prepare for the other day. So in a nutshell, I am here to let you know that our campus is not foolproof, not perfect, but with the limited resources that we have and with the best intent, we secure our campus. In terms of how we do dismissal, when COVID started and we are going face-to-face, we had to put some measures in place. And one of the things we do is we allow our parents to come on the main block. We have persons stationed at the gate, and they will tell us who they are there for. We will turn the students over to those persons. Now, from time to time, at about 2:30, those who are the remaining students in the class, they are now sent to the waiting area, and that is where the chaos starts. Now, myself will go there and monitor it. My security officers, they will take turns. They will go over there and monitor it. There are teachers and caregivers, especially from the infant department, because they are very close. They will monitor it. All right, parents, but we can't have a person there 24/7. It's just not possible. And the children, I don't know, it seems as if they get their energy mostly at this time of the day. So that is why we ask our parents, please, to pick up. And in addition to that, if a child gets hurt, I will be the first one to take them to the doctor. But in terms of holding the school liable for that, it's going to be very, very hard, because at the end of the day, the child is to be picked up. If a child is in co-curricular activity, which we will soon start, then we will be responsible for that child once it is a school activity. But when school ends, we are asking our parents to pick up. Now, parents, it is chaotic on the road. I remember one parent said to me one day, Mr. Wallace, down here so coming like Mandela, right? It is very, very chaotic. And when I assess the situation, it is 85 to 95% at times some form of indiscipline. I remember one afternoon, a parent parked in the road, locked the car and gone. And that created a bottleneck almost down to the gas station. Now, how are we going to fix it? I don't know. I have had a number of parents messaging me and saying to me, Mr. Holness, we need to try this, we need to try that. And, you know, we are looking into it. Now, I am open for suggestions. I am open for solution. I'm a solution-oriented person. And as such, I am putting to my parents no. And so we understand this. I'm putting to my parent no. The next photograph that is on the screen is an area that is designated by the entire group of school that the primary school has access to create a proper waiting area. And I want you to understand the vision that we have where a holding area pick up, because this is crucial in going forward, my parents. Now, this area is just immediately behind block A. That's the block with the grade 1 students and the grade 3 upstairs. Now, we want to convert this area into a holding area. And parents, if you buy into our vision and decide to put your heart in it, I can assure you that your problem will solve if we can partner with the school and even better the idea. Now, this is a container, and this is where the reading room is, that blue area there. Now, parents, this is a very big area. The vision for it is to create a holding area. And at that area, we have 6 designated spaces, 1 for grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We put benches there and the students can sit and they can wait for their parents. And then parents, going forward, it would also be good if we can employ additional persons to monitor this area up to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it would minimize that rush parents to come at 2:30 to do the pickup, which will solve the bottleneck. So you have some parents who can come and pick up their children between 3 and 3:30. You have the others who may say, you know, I won't be able to pick up until 4. So if we fix this area, put in a proper ground, cover it, and have our students there under the guidance of persons that we can employ, and our parents pool their resources, employ someone between 2 to 5, then we would have solved the issue that we are faced with in the afternoon, because I can tell you, it is highly frustrating. And I know when it is pickup time for my parents, them said, Jesus have mercy, Excelsior and their Mandela kind of traffic. Parents, if you are understanding me, let me see you give me that thumbs up time if you have understand everything that I want to say. I love to know that I'm communicating effectively. If you understand all that I have just said, be very frank with me. I say few fingers, thumbs up. If you understand what I am saying, parents, let me see with an indication of thumbs up. Good. So persons are understanding what I am saying. And I'm now going to cut down. I'm going to recap what I've said, and then I'm going to open the chat, not the chat, the opportunity for parents to ask any question. So 1, the school that your child is a part of, it is a safe and secure school. We are trying our best. We are trying to ensure that our students, our staff, right, all the other persons who are stakeholders, even you parents, We have to secure you. Even the persons who take in the supplies, we have to secure them. And I would never, ever want an accident to happen at the school that I'm a part of. We have security officers. We would like to employ at least 2 additional securities in the short term to start to man the waiting area. And I'm telling you, the children who wait, they are busybody. A parent called me today and said, sir, we have to do something about the language of the students over there. Another parent called me and said to me that out at the community college, some students were just going back and forth across the road because the traffic warden wasn't there, right? And what if a car has hit down? We don't want anybody who is not affiliated with a child to come and take a child or even call out a child. We have to secure. So we have our security officers. We also want to put in some closed circuit television cameras so that we can see what is happening at every little corner, down the hall, right across. So these are things that we want to move forward with. So in addition to that, to solve the problem, I'm repeating, to solve the problem, we need to put in a bigger waiting area. Now, at the infant department, within another week and a half, there is going to be that aftercare. And it is a little bit more settled at the infant department because we don't allow the students out. They wait until they are picked up. And in most of the cases, the teachers are fully aware of who will be picking up the children, because that has to be in place based on the standards set by the government. So colleagues, so parents, the real objective is to let you know without a shadow of a doubt that your child's security, your child's safety is paramount, is important to Mr. Holness, is important to Mrs. Pinnock, is important to all the teachers, is important to all the admin staff, all the academic staff, right? Something as simple as a nurse we don't have. And it is my intent to see how best we can employ even a practical nurse so to assist us. Just yesterday, I was in discussion with the members of the community college to see how best we can collaborate with their sick bay. So all of these things are things that we are doing. We are developing our safety and security manual, which will be shared to all our stakeholders. Good. We have the police on call. We have the doctors on call. And once a child is injured, the child is going to be taken to the hospital. And that is why we have asked our parents. We have sent out a document, a Google form for parents to update so that we can have the correct numbers. So once we call, we can get you. Today, a little boy, another parent had to lift up another little boy and rush him to the office because he got injured. We called the father and he said, Mr. Holness, I'm on my way, I'm coming, I'm really sorry, but I'll be there. So it is a case, parents, that we are not sloppy, we are not slack, we have your child's interest at heart, and we will continue to have your child's interest at heart. We are not perfect. And one thing with this principle, he's on call. And if you call him, you're going to get a response. If you send him a message, you're going to get a response. If you make a complaint, he's going to respond. And he will direct you as to the correct channel. So parents, I'm thanking you for listening to me. And for those persons who have any suggestion, anything to say on the topic at hand, you can now ask your question. I'm seeing 3, starting with Nikisha Douglas. You can go.
All right, good evening, everyone. Evening, principal, staff members, and my fellow parents. Firstly, I know that the school is secure. My son is now in grade 5, and he started from grade 1. So I am not worried about the security of the school. Now, My problem is the bottleneck. That can be solved firstly by the mentality change of our parents and taxi drivers, because it's not only parents who come and pick up. The drivers that we have, you mentioned the person who parked in the middle of the road and just left the vehicle. That has been happening for a while, and they just do not respect anybody else. And that is the main problem. That is what is causing the main problem. They just park anywhere they feel like. So you go and you pick up your child. You're ready to leave. You have nowhere to drive and exit. People driving through the exit to enter. There's a big sign I'm sure we can read. I know we can read. We just choose to ignore it. And you're driving through the exit. There are children who are not expecting you to be coming in that direction, to come inside. And they are there. I was in the parking lot the other day and a driver just drove in and the little girl didn't know what to do with herself because the vehicle was coming in her direction. So the discipline, or rather, indiscipline of our persons who are using the parking lot is causing the main problem with the bottleneck.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you, Miss Douglas. And while we take, you can, once you are finished, then put down your hand. And I'm going to ask my parents to just maintain the 2 minutes. One of the things I am asking my parents to do is to, you're coming in at a particular time, especially early. You come in, you tell your child to stand in a position where you can see them or they can see you. Kayan Brown, you can go ahead.
Even Mr. Hollis.
Good evening. Sorry.
As Mr. Douglas said it earlier with the parking, that is one aspect with the parking lot. But the road leading to the school, even up to this evening, I've observed, I don't remember the license plate number out of my head, but there's a black Nissan Note parked in the coming down lane and blocked up the entire place. For a good 20 minutes I pick up my child and couldn't come out to the school. I don't understand. I see it parking on the sidewalk, helpful, but then again park in the middle of the road and nobody knows where you are. At this stage, I'm wondering if I don't want to really have a problem with appearance, but if there could be a system implement for clamping vehicles like that, that the discipline can actually be forced and appearance to recognize now how serious things has become. Because you look at it, you have most people that beg their lunchtime to go for a child. And then when they pick up the child and ready to come out, basically you can't come out, your lunchtime gone to waste right there. So when you could have used 10 minutes or 15 minutes, pick up the child, drop off the child and go back to work.
Yes. And thank you, Mr. Brown. And in addition to that, as you mentioned, clamping. Yes, if we clamp it, it's going to that's going to also escalate the problem because the vehicle won't be able to move. But we have a number of police officers. I am going to start to engage them to see how best they can assist us. And if it means that it is legal to ticket those persons who block the entrance or block the exit, then we may have to go that route. Not a route I want to go, but we may have to. Natasha McNaughton, you can go ahead. Thank you, Sir Brown, for that input. McNaughton.
Good afternoon. Question.
Yes.
Is a system in place where persons doing pickup, like drivers or whoever is picking up? Is there a book that they sign to say, my name is John Brown, I'm picking up Tom Jones? Yep. Is something in place for that? And if not, right, could that be looked at, one? Or you have like a pass system where persons who are designated pickup drivers or persons, they have something to say to identify to say that I am picking up this child or this person. So maybe that could be looked at as a means of security. Also, to as parents, I think we need to take the responsibility also to drill into our children not to go with strangers. You know, so that's what I'm thinking about the pick up and the minimize thing. One other thing, the pickup, the drivers, the taxi drivers, they're terrible. I came last
Not all
Friday.
of them, not all of them. Let us.
Well, some of them are very irresponsible, mind you. I saw a case last week, Friday. I had to walk from the bottom of the road, and a taxi driver had young children, and he left them in the vehicle unattended out on the end of the road, bottom end, and walk up to the school. So parents, we need to know, be mindful of who is picking up our children, because they're also putting our children at risk.
All right. Ms. McNaughton, thank you for your contribution. Now, when you started to talk, I put up this screen. At this point in time, it is almost impossible to put a system in place to persons to sign that they take their child. We will never, ever end for the day. Remember, we are a large primary school. We have 900 and about 960, 970, 980 students in the primary division. Now, to do that is going to be hard. But the vision moving forward, this area is a very large area that if the parents put hands and heart together, we can do this. First thing we need to do is to have a work day. For those who are not Adventist, Saturday. For those who are Adventist, Sunday. And the first thing we want to do is to clean this up. After which we want to see, and we have some engineer in this room. They are listening. We have 425, and persons are going to watch it on YouTube. We have some engineers who they can come in and give Mr. Holness and his team ideas how to convert this into a first world pickup area. I had a parent who called me and said, Mr. Holness, if we have a system where we have an intercom and a person is there to call, John Brown, your mother is here, John Brown, move, this can be facilitated. This will cost, and then we want to put a covering on it. And what I've seen, I remember when just about we start, especially earlier in January, thereabout in December also, Miss Crooks, our hardworking member of staff at the infant, she would play some music in the infant department, and it put the students at ease. We put up some music here that at the end of the day, they can sit down, they can listen. We want to convert this space. And while I go to the other hand, Miss McDonald, this means that if the 1,000 parents in this meeting, in this school, not in this meeting, in this school, every other month give us $1,000 over a 3 or over a 4-month period, we put this in place. And I can tell you, Miss McNaughton and all the other parents, your problem will be solved, because then we'll be able to pick up at our convenience, because we will be able to also put persons in place to monitor after school. Our teachers cannot do it, Miss McNaughton, to sign out and sign in persons, because at that time they have to mark books, they have to evaluate their lessons, they have to also go and pick up their children. So it's a hard one. Miss Douglas, you can go ahead and ask your question. I'm asking you, please limit take note of the time. Go ahead, Miss Douglas. McDonald, sorry.
McDonald. Okay, yes. Good evening, everyone. I heard you say that there is security at the back gate, as I would call it. How does the security monitor the persons going in and out, persons from the college and the primary school?
All right, so the persons who traverse there, they will tell you they don't have if they don't have an ID, they can't come through. So they have to have an ID to come in, and they pick up their children and they go. And we have never had any incident where but even though it's not too late. So you have to have an ID to pass through the community college to come over. All right.
I'm speaking to from the primary entrance or exit, as you would call it. Not from the college. They would pass through the college with their ID, but on reaching our gate, how does the security monitor that?
No, but once they come through the college, we just allow them. Because the college would have already done their check. At our gate, we are going to start implement ID now. So within a short period of time, persons who are going to pass through our area to go over will have to flash their IDs. In addition to that, within another 2 weeks, there's going to be a cutoff point where those who are coming to the school, the primary, after a set time, they will not be able to come through the community college. They will have to go through the main entrance. And then in the afternoon, we will reopen it so that those parents who are coming in for their children or the students, they can access it there. All right. Thank you very much. Ms. Mitchell? Mitchell? Lewin? Simone? Parents, we are unmuting you. Yes, Simone.
Sir, this is not really a question, but a concern I've observed. I travel from the Lexington Avenue up Courtney during the evening to pick up my 2 sons. And I've observed a couple of, I don't know if it's taxi or drivers that come to pick up the kids, asking the kids to come down and wait on Oakland Avenue. Lexington Vineyardtown area is not all that safe. And most of us who used to that era will know that you cannot have the little girls or even the boys standing at Oakland or the bottom of Courtney where nobody can see them to ask them to come and wait on their drivers. It is not possible. A lot of parents are not aware that this is going on. I had to stand one evening with a grade 4 or grade 5 it was, for almost half an hour before I went back to work, and our driver was still not there. So I sent her up back on Courtney to wait on him.
You know, Simone, I'm appreciative of your comments. And I'm going to ask all my class reps who are present. We had a meeting with our parent reps last night that I'm going to ask you to put that post out to tell the parents, and I'm going to ask my team member working from behind the scene to make note of that, to send a general email out to the staff that parents who are asking taxi drivers to pick up their children to ensure that they tell their child not to leave the school compound. As I said, we can't see everything. You can rest assured that my teachers who are hearing, they are going to tell the students not to go through. And I'm going to ask my team members to send that email out. And when we start General Assembly, you can rest assured that I am going to make that. Thank you very much for that, Simone. I didn't pick that up. All right, Katie and Stuart, you may speak.
Hi, good night, sir. Another concern. Well, I drive as well to pick up my children, one in 5th grade and one in 1 grade. Yeah, the bottleneck is very hectic. I have a son who just left Excelsior Primary, and it has been that for a long time. But my main concern right now is sometimes when I don't get to pick up and my kids have to walk, come up, because we live up by Mountain View. Is it possible? I have been trying to get through to Miss Faval office, but is it a possibility where you could ask if the Mountain View primary side of the school, the big lump that is there, they have been throwing rubbish there. So when our children are walking, coming up, and Mountain View and Excel says out, it's a rush, and I have been walking with my kids, and it's like the cars is passing you so much. It's like it's actually touching you with that wind. Is it possible that we could get in contact with somebody to dig down that sidewalk where it could almost look as over Excelsior Primary side as well? Because it is easier when our kids cross there to just walk up because they don't have to cross anymore. Is there anything?
So Ms. Stewart, what I'm going to ask you to do when you have some time, because I'm not able to visualize it, when you have some time, just come by the school, tell me that you are Ms. Stewart, and let us walk it out and see. And then of course we can get our politician. We have Julian Robinson and Ms. Williams, the two members of parliament there. And I'm pretty sure that they are persons affiliated in this room with them that we can see how best. So Ms. Stewart, I'm going to ask that one day when you have the time to come by, or just call me and say, sir, are you free, so that we can take the walk so I can see exactly what you are saying. But thank you very, very much. Kimani Williams, you can go.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm not sure if it's me alone. You're hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
I'm not sure if it's me alone, but I drop off the children in the morning, and I want to know what is the rules in terms of dropping off in that area, because I'm just following a pattern. I'm not really sure how to do it. So when I enter the school, I go in the leftmost lane where I'm greeted by the security who helps me in the morning to take out the children and usher them. Some going to grade 4 and grade 3 and the others to the infant department. Is it that there are other lanes designated for dropping off, or just that one leftmost lane? Not hearing you, sir. Your mic is muted.
I missed what you said. I was a little bit distracted. Say it again.
I drop off the children in the morning. 2 in grade 3 and 2 for the infant department. I am not certain of the regulations concerning dropping off. But when I enter the school compound, I go in the leftmost lane where I'm greeted by the security who assists me to take the children out of the vehicle. But I want to know, are there other designated lanes for dropping off, or is just that one lane to drop and go? You're muted, sir.
That's a very good question. No, we don't have a designated lane, but in thinking now, we could have that designated lane for the infant parents. But let me look at it some more and see how best. But I see your point. There are no presently there are no designated lane. We just, what we do as security officers out there, we will just put persons in lanes as best as possible, take the students, cross them, and then send the parents out. But while Ramik is getting ready to speak, Ms. Williams, one of the things that creates a problem in the morning is that the parents are waiting until they reach to get the mask out, to get the lunch bags out, and that causes a delay. And also those parents who are going to go to the office to do business, they are not to park in the main area. They should park on the wings or on the outskirts so that they can free the space in the morning. So I look into a designated area and see if it is something that can work. But again, it will be the discipline of our parents that will matter, and to obey us out there in the car park. But thank you for that, Ms. Williams. Ramik?
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Good night, fellow parents and teachers. All right, so I was looking at the area that you said that is going to be earmarked, proposing for pickup area, right? But with all of that said, though, how is it going to control traffic, right? The traffic is the traffic is terrible, right? I mean, I was down on the main road for 25 minutes, just waiting to turn on Courtney. 25 minutes, right? I mean, that level of a bottleneck, right? Because
what time you came, Mr. Rami, today? What time you came?
Well, actually, what I had to start doing, it wasn't today. Today I was at the school from 1:30, so I was there early and catch a parking space up top, right?
But
Because I was anticipating that level of traffic, and it wasn't any different when I was leaving.
so how will it, and as I would have said it earlier, when we get that area up, it means, Mr. Ramik, that you could come, some parents can now come at 3 o'clock instead of 2 o'clock. It would mean that some parents can come in at 3:30 and they can rest assured that their child will be safe. Because in addition to having that space up and ready, we want to employ persons who are responsible to monitor it, so it works in the parents' favor. You understand that, sir? So you could, when school ends at 2:30, you would not have to rush and come into that traffic. We can stagger the dismissal time because there'll be designated areas for grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, 4, 5, and 6. And as I would have said, infant is already settled. All right? Follow me? If you understand what I said, give me the thumbs up sign, Mr. Ramik. Stacey, and you can go ahead.
Good night, Mr. Olness.
Good night.
Parents and teachers. This is just a suggestion. I've heard everyone complain about the traffic to enter the school. So different from a suggestion, I wanted to find out, is there a minimum amount of vehicle that is allowed on the compound when dropping off?
No, there isn't.
There isn't, okay.
Right.
So what the school could probably do is to limit the amount of vehicles that come up in the morning and also in the evening, because you have a security there at the gate.
So when we limit, then where the others would go?
They would just wait on Courtney Avenue until they can go in. So the security will give them permission to come in with me while those other parents are exiting. So you keep the traffic at a minimal, because you know parents are, you heard a lady saying that a child could be coming down into the section that a car not supposed to drive, and they can get it down. So I'm just saying,
look at limiting.
Yeah, have a limited amount of vehicle on the compound at that time, or the school can probably not let cars enter on the compound, but they stay on Courtney Avenue, and they come out and go on the compound for the kids come off back and go into their vehicle and drive off. So it's like, I don't know, just a suggestion, as in allowing everyone. Because I know some schools don't allow motor vehicle on the compound, right? They let them park on the outside and they come inside for the kids.
But
so
the problem with that, mommy, not cutting into you, but the problem with that is that those schools, they are basically on the roadside and they can park along the roadways. And if you go there, it is still a traffic congestion. But I hear your mother, and as I said, it is being recorded and it is something. So you are saying, your suggestion is see if we can limit the number of parents driving coming up and then, you know, regulate it from there. All right, that is noted. Walker, I'm going to take 5 more hands. Walker, and then I'm going to end. Walker.
Yes. Good day, all. Good day, sir. As you rightly said, you know, some of these situations are not a quick fix. It's just more discipline need to be employed by some of us parents, so that we can, because there's no way that space can accommodate all the parents and transport that come into the school. It's a very small area. But one way we can help to eliminate, alleviate some of the congestion, it's by discipline. One, as you rightly said, parents ensure that the kids are ready. So as you drive up, them come right out of the vehicle. Sometimes parents, they're giving them lunch money and putting on masks, looking for masks and stuff like that, and those things. Another thing is, if we can ensure that school over promptly, sometimes classes will run a little extra, we understand that, so that when the drivers come, they won't have to wait for the students. So as they drive up, and just inform the students as well, inform the children as well. Listen, school over at 2:30, it's not a time to be running all over the place. There's a driver is assigned to you to pick you up, and the driver will be there at X time. So you need to look out for the driver and also ensure that the kids know the driver that will pick them up and know the vehicle that the driver is driving. If the driver change a vehicle, you must inform the parents and also the teachers so that it can help with a smooth transition. And I must commend the security and also yourself, Mr. Holiness, because you're there every morning trying to get things flowing as smoothly as possible, but you will still have indisciplined parents and also drivers. So what we need to do is try to get out the kids on time. So when the drivers there, no waiting, and when you're dropping them off, ensure that they're well equipped. So as the vehicle reach, no waiting, because you can't say that you should park down on the road and then walk come up. It's impossible. And listen, this is happening in many schools around. The congestion when you come into bigger schools, it's just the same way, but we just have to use discipline to try to make things work smoothly as possible until better come.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. And that is why I want us to look at our waiting area. And parents, you may see me disappear in the afternoon. I have to run out because I have my daughter to pick up at St. Andrew High, and I'm telling you, that is another piece of traffic. But well said, Mr. Walker. Roger Brown, I'm taking just 5 more hands. Roger Brown, not hearing you. Miss Lawrence, Barrett Lawrence.
Hi, good night, sir.
Good night.
In regards to the ID at the college gate, I do agree that persons will show you an ID, but that person showing you an ID and coming to pick up a child, what guarantees there is that ID log to say Barrett Lawrence came for Alarming or Barrett Lawrence came for Brown? So the ID is one thing, but what the ID really represents, though, it's not a means of security to me. That's just my opinion.
All right, so that's a good opinion. And I will look at what is happening out of the community because I think they log it. But mother, one of the things, and as Mr. Walker would say it, and if you notice the theme for this meeting, safety and security, everybody's business. I tell my 2 little girls and all the other children, look here, don't go with strangers. I tell my 2 that the only persons picking you up is the persons who I tell you to pick up. And if my best friend, which I don't have, come and say, hey, you short pooper, say you come with me, you know. Them now go. Them can't go. And if the building a turnover, them are going to stay there.
I tell my son the same thing as well. But
so what
I'm saying, the ID don't really make it to me. Don't make much sense.
And I see the point, and I'm going to find out what is happening. But it's for us to tell our children, no move, though the heavens may fall.
Sir, and another thing with the Courtney Avenue thing, sir, the parent that mentioned that we should park on Courtney Avenue, sir, that's not feasible. Because we need to remember that persons also live on Courtney Avenue and they have to go into their homes and they have to come out as well. Because I've been observing that too. What we need are the parents to be more disciplined. You just drive up, wait in the line. And for the ones that are parking on the roadside, they need to stop because they're backing up the traffic. And it's not fair.
All right. Thank you very much. Yes, Roger Brown.
What I wanted to ask you, the grade 1 gate, where the dismissal, where the parents will receive the children there, is a motor vehicle supposed to park right there, sir?
All right, so the teachers, nobody's supposed to park in front of the gate. Teachers park alongside that fence because of, but where you would see us letting them in the morning, nobody's supposed to be parking there in the afternoon. But again, persons will leave and take out the barriers that are there and just do their thing. It's hard.
That's what I observe. And then
it's hard. They come and they take it up. And so, as I said, half of our problem in Jamaica now is indiscipline. All right. Thanks much, Sir Brown. Kelly, I have to soon wrap up. The numbers are dwindling. Persons are tired. Kelly?
Good night. I was asking if, don't take it the wrong way, if the teachers have a designated parking area. So parents, when they come on campus.
I'm not hearing you, Miss Kelly.
I'm asking if the teachers, if staff, if they have a designated parking areas. Or is it that
staff knows exactly where to park? We have parking spaces for our staff.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, because it, never mind. It's okay.
No,
That you answered the question.
I answered the question. Okay. While we wrap up, a message just came in. Parents, bullying. Parents are having challenges with other students being unkind. Today I met with my guidance counselor, and we are going to start the process of resocialization. Let me tell you something. There's so much we can do and no more. And our little ones, you have other students troubling them, and where we can, as best as possible, minimize it. Sometimes we can't. It would be good if our grade 1 students or all the students stay in their classes until they are picked up. But parents, the teachers have to leave. The teachers have things to do. The teachers cannot monitor them for the entire day, and then in the afternoon, it is hard. I can't regulate that. I can't. There are things that the teachers need to do. There are meetings to be held, right? It's a school, so it's really hard. And I know some of my little ones, I'm having a bullying session with my grade 4 students. Come April, I have a group coming in to look at it. The teachers in their devotion time, they talk to the students. The vice principal, guidance for this term, guidance is focusing on grades 1 to 3. Last term, we focus on grades 4 to 6. So every little opportunity we get, we talk to our students. To prevent it, it's hard because we'd have to be there all the time. So parents, sometimes there's something that we cannot control, but if we find it, I have some boys and they think that they're going to get away with it. They interfere. So it is something that we have to teach our children. Leave people's children alone. You know, today when I met with the boys, I said to them, all of you, close your eyes and just think, when you go there and you trouble somebody, or you get in a fight, and somebody just use their hand and they have the pencil and they just come and they just dig out your eyes, and you have one eye for the rest of your life. And they say, and some of them, they make up them face when I spoke to them, when I've been talking to them. So we have to talk to them, right? Our chaplain, he has been visiting the school regularly, and he's talking to them. You know, those students who are at risk. I'm having a mentorship thing for them. The chaplain started, the guidance counselor started, the teachers are on board, the rest of the stakeholders, they understand it's a part of the plan going forward. And if they are responsible, especially my police officers, you know, I've spoken to one, my soldiers, my other guidance counselors here, and persons who are responsible. If you want to be a part to mentorship another child, because we have at-risk children, right? We have to do that. I have some students, not going to call them out in this forum, that we have to help, because coming out of the secondary school where I was, right, when they come over to the secondary school, all hell broke loose. So we want to look at that to help our students. Parents, I can't go any further with the hands. I'm going to take Daniel Lewin just to say what you have to say in a minute, and let me see if I can run it down quickly. Go, Daniel.
Hi, Mr. Holness. Good night.
How do you do?
Close off the meeting. My hand has been up from the open the floor, and I'm realizing that you're not going to reach to me, so I have to interject. So good night, everybody. I am speaking as it relates to the matter of security. I travel through the gate, the college gate, every afternoon to pick up my kids. I have a son in grade 6 and my daughter is in grade 2. So I can speak to the gate from the top come all the way down to the primary. I don't think there's enough being done from the top coming all the way down. So let me start at the front of the gate. From you come through the college security, the first thing, let me speak. The first thing, when the incident happened, with the admin person being shot, when that incident happened, the security there was very tight. You couldn't come through the gate without your ID. Since school opened, it has been a total change. So you come through the gate and you would say, I'm going down to the primary. Nobody checks your ID. Nobody looks at anything. They just sanitize your hand and they send you through the gate. All right, we pass that gate. I'm coming down now to the security that sits at the back. They have different securities at the back each time. Some days when you come down, they're always sitting. I've never seen them standing. And I'm not saying that I want them to operate like slavery. That's not what I'm saying. But you're on a school compound and you're doing your job. They're always under the guango tree, they're sitting. And remember, during the days, at that time of the day, you'd have cars parked right through the parking lot right there is always full. So if he or she is sitting under the tree, he's not able to see over the cars. So they can't see what's happening at the gate. If somebody pulls up to the side, and I'm just saying this for argument's sake, somebody can pull a child through the back gate and stop them in a car and drive away with it, and that security guard would not know anything. All right, we reach that gate. So right there, so that security either needs to come closer to the gate or that security, I don't know, but something needs to be done with that security right there. So we reach now to the primary school back gate. That gate is so exposed, it's unbelievable. So you come there, that security only opens the gate when the bell rings. There's no checks at the back gate. Nobody to say, and I understand that there are times when it's really full, so maybe it is that they probably need to put other persons there because you need to have some form of control right there. It can't be that people just walk in and walk out.
What kind of control you want to see there quickly?
As far as I can see, once she opens the gate, it's like she don't really care about anything else that's happening. So anybody can just walk out with and do with a child. So the security right there at the back gate is not as
just
good
pause
as
right
you
there.
think
Pause
it
right
is.
there. Just pause right there. Pause right there. What would you want to see happening at that gate? Let me hear you.
At the gate, at the primary school back gate, the back gate, also the gate that you were referring to, that you can stand at the back gate and see across. You also need to remember that there's another gate at the side right there. And I see from time to time where persons pull that gate and go through the
Do you know that children walk? Do you know that children walk there to go home based on in terms of it is an exit for students to go home? We have no control
and
over that.
that's fine, but right there need to be some form of control because
I'm asking you, Miss Lewin, what would you want to see? Just tell me. I'm solution oriented.
All right, so at the gate, where the main gate for the primary, there needs to be probably some additional person there. You need to check every ID, and everybody needs to be recorded that.
All right, so did you listen to what I said at the start, that those are ideal, but we don't have the human resource to do it? That is why we have to ensure
I heard that, but
right. So that is why I have to stop you there.
Mr. Holness.
Go, say it.
Yes, I heard what you were saying about that from the beginning of the meeting. But you also said that there's nothing to put that measure in place. But I'm saying to you that needs to be in place because it can't be that people just walk in and out as they please. Because somebody can't just walk in and out with a child. And not every child is outspoken like my child, where them cannot draw through the gate. You have kids that are really quiet and they will go no matter how. You have a mother and father that says to you, do not go with strangers. They are children. And you have different types of children. And you can't just leave them at risk like that. So I think what needs to be done, it has to be done. No need to be done. Somebody needs to be at the back gate, more than that, probably a security and an admin person, or a security and somebody that's just there to record the ID information and the person's coming in and out. That's all I'm saying.
And I appreciate that, and that's the ideal. But Miss Lewin, the primary school don't have that luxury just yet. We have no one to put there to record over 250 person traversing that area.
250 persons not traversing.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm telling you, mother, that we have about 250 students who are going through that gate. I'm not asking.
Okay, Mr. Holness, I heard you, but what is it that?
Because we have recorded it. We have a fairly good idea of who goes through it. Mother, I hear you, and don't think that it has gone on deaf ground. And if when I go back in office and look and we can record, then we will do it. But I'm telling you, the only thing that would stop me from doing that tomorrow is if we have parents who will come in and volunteer. I have a very good team of parents who come in the morning who volunteers. If we have that level of volunteerism in the afternoon consistently, we can do it. But where that is concerned, we'd have to employ persons, and we don't have that luxury.
Well, that's an option. You can ask persons, because I'm sure there will be persons that would be willing to volunteer to come and record the information in the
no
evenings.
problem.
I'm sure
so if there are parents who are willing and can do that consistently and will roster you, Mr. Holness will ensure. All right, thank you, Ms. Lewin. You have made the point that you want to make?
Yes, I have.
Thank you. The last person, Ken Jones. K. Jones.
Good evening.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I have 3 complaints. So may I make them quick? But on the complaint, a solution more fine. You see the tree right that come out of Courtney Walsh? Get rid of it. Because it hampered the sidewalk to the left coming out of the gate. So when the cars them, because you have sometimes there are some cars stop right there. And the walkway, it's there, but the tree, it's hampered. So sometimes the kids them go in on the road. You pick up where I'm saying, Mr. Honest?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing that tree out there. So you're saying get rid of it.
Get rid of it or shave it, because you have a part there where if the child is too tall, I'm gonna bend or I'm gonna come out on the road.
Okay, all right. I'll look into that. What's the other one quickly?
Yeah, man, I move quick. The second one, you can't have a steady go home time, because when me come from my lunchtime, me pick up the little one. And me I tell you, sometimes it throw me off wicked. I swear to you. 2 o'clock to 2:15. I understand, but I'm just asking. And thirdly, just continue doing that though. And persons like the last caller, may I beg you, it's sometimes suggestions, we need solutions. If you know the solutions, don't mention it. May I beg you no. Parents are teamwork do it. And not one person.
Thank you, Sir Jones. Bogle. And I'm stopping here.
Good night, sir. Good night, everybody. I want to say I am aware of all of the issues, but sir, I think you are now preaching to the choir.
Yes.
As it relates to those traffic issues. Because most of the times, the parents or the taxi, whoever is causing the problems, they are never in the meetings.
Amen,
so
Miss
you are
Bogle.
preaching to the
choir.
converted.
Right. But guess what though? Persons will pass it on, and this is going to be on YouTube, so we will expect persons to listen. But you are right. There are 341 of us in here, and I can tell you these are persons who will. So you're absolutely correct.
Yes, sir. And I just want to.
But I want to say to you though, Miss Bogle, from the converted, we can get solutions and implement. So it's still not.
Yes, man. Yes, I know. I know. That's why the meeting is called. Yes, I know. And I just want to congratulate you guys on the effort, because I know it's not easy to deal with all of us. And I'm saying all of us as parents, because all of us have different issues, different complaints, and for you and the team to go through each day and try to address each of them, you know? Kudos to you guys. Continue doing the good work that you are doing. I have John Pierre from grade 1. He's now at George's, and I am pleased. And now Zani is in grade 1, and she's gonna continue and move on as well. And if there is another to come,
Sarah was 90. All right. Nigel.
All right.
Quickly, Nigel.
Good night, everybody. I'm fairly new here. I've been to the campus about 6 times now. Daddy normally drops off, and I can agree with the lady about all of those points, and they're important points. I already came to the conclusion that it's a human resource issue, which then becomes a money issue. So I was already cognizant of that. However, You keep saying that the parents should volunteer if they can, but I'm going to ask you and your team, if you could put together a policy or a procedure that you think is going to be effective based on the suggestions that we made and put it together, then you can meet back with us and propose what it is that you're expecting us to do, what would fit under these positions that you're asking us to fill voluntarily, and then we are now able to make informed decisions. So we're not just saying we're signing it, we're understanding what the bigger picture is, what is the roles we are expected to fill, and we can make informed decision as to, I can take this on and I can commit to this. I understand what my risks are, I understand what is being asked of me, I understand what I'm going to face in terms of objection. I think a policy needs to come into place, some procedures. I will concretize that as a trial thing, and so parents know exactly, we need volunteers, what we're coming into.
Thank you for that.
Another thing I'm thinking of, the few times I'm there, I came to that conclusion very easily that it's a joke thing, how the school is set up. Excelsior filters into ExCED and can filter into the primary can filter into the kinder, and it's just one big, even today I was looking, I said, this is just one big maze with no sectioning off that protects any persons based on where they're at, their development levels, and there's no security. However, I think it's bigger than a parent-teacher thing. I think it's something that you probably need to go to the ministry or those in parliament or something and present it as a serious issue, present what has been happening and the real threat to our children. And we see if we can, whether it's a petition, whatever we can do to get changes, and so they can invest money in us to change certain things, even accessing the office from that back gate there to the primary, anybody can filter off. Is there a way that it can be expanded? And then there's just one thoroughfare there that leads to the office and you have to exit back and then gain access to come into the primary. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
so I don't think
understand.
we could ever afford the long-term benefits of what is needed. I think it needs to go back to the drawing board, and I think it's responsibility of the ministry and other people, other associations to come on board and really redesign the school, because it's a mess. It's a mess from a security point of view. I see dancing dynamite people on compound in slippers over ExCED, and they can come to the gate of the back gate there, and they can go to this side. I don't understand how high school mixing with college student, adult people. I don't understand the care. So I figure it's just something about design, and that's way out of any of us funds, pocket, or capability. So in terms of temporary fix, just come up with a policy based on our suggestions. I think the list of persons we ask for legally as pick up needs to come into factor. So you're comparing those persons. I wouldn't have made sense to fill out those forms. And parents need to understand it's going to be a legal, it's going to be some serious issues if persons we are saying aren't coming in and you're not informing us. Because then we maybe, you as the teachers, maybe, be liable or something like that. I don't know what all the answers are, but I know it needs to be a bigger picture answer, and you need to call on other people outside of us and yourself, because it really is chaotic.
I take what you have said seriously, Williams. But as I said initially, one of the things, if we get a bigger holding area, then even to get persons to man it, they have to present an idea. We stagger that dismissal thereabout, because we are now able to hold persons. Then that's a fix. But as you said,
that's a good idea. Put that out in writing, and we see what we can contribute.
So that is why I would have shown the photograph and asking persons. And I'm going to be asking my entire school family to help us to get that place up and running. If we don't get it, it's going to be continuous.
But just one last point, in terms of the ID, I think you really need to consider what the lady is saying. To what end are we showing IDs?
It is supposed to be logged over there, and I'm happy that she said that, because, as she said,
can show ID.
Yes, but it worked initially. But I don't know. I for one didn't know it was slacked off, and I'm going to make the necessary calls soon. All right, parents. It has been a wonderful afternoon. I've gotten some suggestion. We understand, and we will go forward. Excelsior is a safe, is a secure school. Yes, we have little loopholes that we will have to fix. We are always open for suggestions. We may not always, you know, be seeing things eye to eye, but how we handle things. I appreciate you parents. I appreciate my staff. And I just want to say a big thank you for all of those persons who have taken the time out to talk with me this afternoon. And I can tell you, it has not gone on deaf ears. Thank you, parents, and may God continue to bless you as we educate your children, as you work with us and we work with you. God bless you. Have a wonderful rest of night. Peace and love. May God go with you.